Hi, my name is Justin Levine, and I am someone who loves to play sports of any kind. I've grown up playing, football, basketball, baseball were my main ones, but as I've grown older, I've gotten into kind of recreational other sports such as tennis and, golf and even silly stuff like spike ball or badminton. But the one I really want to focus on today is golf because I feel like golf has, as of recently, has had the biggest impact in my life. Now, it's had the biggest impact in my life because it's something it's no longer a team sport as opposed to something like football or baseball. And so as you get older, like since I go to college now, if you don't play baseball, let's say for the college, it can be a little more challenging to actually have fun and find a team and find a whole organization and a league and something like that to play in. So naturally, a lot of people who are in my position or older or whatever will pick up golf. That's because it's an individual sport that basically anyone can get into. Now, a drawback of golf is that it can be a little bit expensive at times, as opposed to basketball. Let's say basketball, you just really need a pair of sneakers, a ball, and then you can go find a hoop somewhere. Golf, you do need, nicer kind of golf clothes, golf clubs. You have to pay for every round you play, golf balls, all of that. So that is a potential drawback. But its pros heavily outweigh its cons because if you can either find friends that also enjoy golf or get someone else that hasn't played yet and, kind of introduce them to the game, it's a great way to socialize with friends and make new connections and things like that because, if you play a full 18 holes, depending on the pace, and if you're walking or for more exercise or you're in a cart, sometimes it can take up to 4 hours, sometimes even 5 hours. So that's, time you get to spend with friends or making connections. And I feel like, especially for me, someone who is a business student, that it's technically like the sport of business because, if you want to take a business, whether it's like a business partner and you want to just kind of bond with them and get to know them better, or you're gonna make a deal with someone and you want to just like talk the deal out over a lighthearted game of golf. It's a great way to uh, kind of have an intermediary between you two, so it's not so maybe tense. Another cool thing about golf is a lot of people think like just the PGA and you play it a certain way, but there's actually a bunch of different ways you can play golf. Obviously, you're still hitting it and trying to get into the hole, but there is different ways you can play it. Like my favorite way to play it with my friends that I usually do, that is always super memorable, is we play a two versus two. So we split into teams, and basically um, each team keeps taking the best ball to get into the hole, and so it makes it more of like a collaborative team sport. And someone who grew up playing team sports, that's kind of near and dear a little bit to my heart. There's also things such as you can even bet on like whether it's a whole round and if you shoot a lower score or certain holes, things like that. They're called stroke play and match play. Um, Now you kind of have to watch your attitude sometimes, especially if you make it a little bit more tense when you're betting, because some people, I've been on the wrong side of this before too, is you can have a tendency to get frustrated with yourself, and that kind of, you don't want to be the person who sucks the joy out of the game for everybody in that moment. So those are just a few little benefits. Mainly, it's a social thing, but it's also a good challenge for you to get better at. Golf is a super hard sport, and so kind of having that challenge to approach and try to get better every day is something that's really fun. So, in conclusion, golf is really a great sport to get into because you don't have to rely on, five different teams to form a league. It's really kind of, if you want it to be an individual thing, it can be. If you want to play in teams, you can. So, it's pretty flexible in that regards. Some of the most memorable moments I've had with my friends is socializing on the golf course and, having fun and just connecting more with people over time. Um, and finally, I just am someone who enjoys the challenge. So, golf is something like, as I just previously mentioned, it's not easy at all. So something that you initially kind of are bad at, and are able to kind of see yourself get better and progress over time is really a joy to it's really a joy to experience. So thank you for listening to my presentation on golf.